To speak on health care during his keynote address to members of the National Retail Federation. Let's bring in Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. She's a Republican from Tennessee. Congresswoman, wonderful to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Of course, when the Vice President begins his remarks, we are expected he's going to hit on health care. We'll get to those when he begins.
Yeah.
But first, how would you describe the current situation for the GOP right now in this health care plan?
The current situation with the GOP is we need to have everybody stay at the table and find a solution to this, Sandra. You know, when my kids were little, we had an issue to solve. We would do what we called a family call. That meant everybody to the kitchen table, everybody bring your ideas, and let's stay there and work it out. And that's exactly what the Senate needs to do. They need to huddle. They need to figure this out. They need to send something to us so that we can go to conference on this bill and get to the goal of putting our nation on a track to patient-centered health care so that doctors and patients and families are making those decisions, not bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. or at some insurance company.
We're left, Congresswoman, wondering where things go from here. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was just on the floor saying this doesn't have to be the end of the story. The American people are hurting. We need change. Actually, we just turned that sound around. Listen.
The American people are hurting. They need relief. And it's regretful that our Democratic colleagues decided early on that they did not want to engage with us seriously in the process to deliver that relief. But this doesn't have to be the end of the story. Passing the repeal legislation will allow us to accomplish what we need to do on behalf of our people.
Congresswoman?
Well, the leader is exactly right on this. It doesn't need to be the end of the story. It should be the point at which they redirect their activity and their priorities and move this to the front of the line. The American people are hurting. I was talking to a constituent this weekend at a visitation, and she said, I cannot even begin to tell you how miserable it's been. 5 insurance companies in 4 years. The insurance too expensive to afford. Can't see the doctor. $30,000 out of pocket before you get a benefit. And this is what is just breaking the back of families. They want this resolved. And you know, Sandra, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or you're Republican or independent or whatever. You want a solution to this. You want certainty. You want stability in the marketplace. The Senate needs to get to the table. And if it takes passing a bill that has a deadline out there, do it. We all know that
Congresswoman Blackburn, I want to jump in though, because I want to broaden this out and ask you where your party is currently, because Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich saying just get something done, talking about moving on to tax reform and other important issues. Actually, he said this on Hannity last night. Listen.
They shouldn't spend the whole rest of this year on one issue. They have also got to pass, I think, by Thanksgiving and get signed into law by Thanksgiving, a very large tax cut, retroactively designed back to January 1, to make sure that we have enough economic growth in 2018 that Republicans can run as the party of prosperity, of jobs, of higher take-home pay, and of economic growth.
All right, leave us off, Congresswoman.
Spot on. Exactly what we not only need to do, we have to do this. We have to deliver for the American people. They want health care resolved. They want tax reform done. It is up to us to meet those deliverables.
You know, a lot of frustration, and the president just tweeting, we were let down by all the Democrats and a few Republicans. Most Republicans were loyal, terrific, and worked really hard. We will return, the president just tweeted. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you. Thank you.